Hi, I'm Sophie, and welcome to my world. You know, people always ask me, where do you get your ideas? Well, I get a lot of them from you, the viewers. Case in point, this fabulous bracelet. This came to me from Cassandra, age 10, from Rhode Island. She gave me this suggestion after she had wanted to make our duct tape rose, but didn't have a pen to make it on, and she came up with this instead. So now I'm going to show you my inspiration from her. What you're going to need is some duct tape and a pair of scissors. That's it. Now, you can make your duct tape bracelet as many colors as you want, but I've done 2 here and 3 here. I found that to work for me, but you can make them as many colors as you want. First thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to take some duct tape and you're going to rip it into a 2-inch square or cut it. And I'm going to flip it over here and I'm going to make what I call a little house or a fish scale. So what I'm going to do is take the corner and I'm going to fold it in halfway, and then I'm going to take the other corner and fold it in halfway. And there I have a little house. So you can see the little house shape. Now, you're going to need to make a bunch of these. I find that making 30 usually makes a big enough wristband for anybody, you know, most people anyway. So what I'm going to do is take the number of duct tapes and divide it by 30, or 30 divided by the number of duct tapes, I should say. So if I want to make 2 colors, 30 divided by 2, 15 of each. If you do more, if you do 3 colors, then it's going to be 10 of each. You get your calculator. You get the idea. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some that I've already made here. And first thing I'm going to do is place down one of my houses. And then I'm going to take my second house. And I'm going to line up my arrow points right there, and I'm going to leave about a 1/4 inch in between each one. And now I'm just going to alternate my colors. Going green and then blue, and then another green, just like that. And I'm going to keep doing this until I've used all 30. I'm going to skip ahead here. I've got one done. Okay, when it's all done, it looks like this. Almost kind of like an arrow. Now, you can measure your wrist here at this point for whoever it's going to be for. And so see, you can see this one's going to be nice and loose, which is what I like, so it can slide over my hand. Now, to make it into a bangle, what I'm going to do is flip this over. I'm going to take my sticky edge and I'm going to fold it. I'm going to imagine that there is a middle line going right down the middle from my arrow point all the way here. And I'm just going to fold this end up and in, just like this. Now, this is not a bad time to grab an extra pair of hands if you want, just to help keep it from sliding and sticking. Because when you're folding things like this, sometimes it can be a little tricky. Okay, so there you can see that's one side folded in, and it's going to stick very nicely upon itself. And then I'm going to fold in the other side. Same way. And those ends are going to meet right in the middle. Now we want them to meet in the middle because we're going to put a thin piece of tape right down the middle to make it nice and solid. Okay, there you go. See how that's nice and together? Okay, now I'm going to take a piece of my duct tape and I'm going to measure against my bracelet here. Now, I only need a tiny thin piece, so I'm going to actually rip about a 1/4 inch piece here, and I'm just going to lay this right along that seam, right there, and I'm going to seal that seam up. Now, I'm going to leave this little edge up for right this moment. You'll see why in just a second. Okay, now I've got this nice and sealed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fold this in, and I'm going to slip this part into this green tabby part right here. Now, to do that, what I'm going to do is actually trim this because I want to make it a little thinner. So I'm going to trim this on the sides there. And it also doesn't need to be this long. This piece ended up being long, so I'm going to cut it right there. See how I've got a little teeny bit of a tab there? That tab, remember I told you to save that little piece there? This tab is going to slide right in there, like that. Can you see that? How that slid right in there? And now I just use that extra little bit and seal it off. And there you have it, a bangle bracelet. For more ideas inspired by viewers just like you, come and check me out at sophie-world.com.